You're live here on GHOne TV. This is News Tonight. I'm Natalie Fort. A good evening to you. Let's take a look at our top stories this evening. More than 10,000 residents of Ben Yiri and adjoining communities have fled to neighboring Côte d'Ivoire for safety following a violent land dispute in the Sola Tuna Kalba district of the Savannah region. Meanwhile, the battle for Akwatia is intensifying as former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Duffuor storms the constituency to campaign for the NDC's Bernard Baidu ahead of the September 2 showdown. Tonight we'll bring you live updates from Akwatia as the clock ticks down to Tuesday's by-election. Later in the bulletin, government moves to halt mining in forest reserves as Acting Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Ama Kofi Boa, writes to the Attorney General for a formal and immediate repeal of LI 2462 and its amended version, LI 2501. Ahead in business, Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, hints Ghana may turn to rice imports from Pakistan to bridge current consumption gaps, even as the country works assiduously to boost local production.
While implementing these policies, we have a gap, and that gap must be filled. How do we fill the gap? We can only fill the gap if we import from other countries.
And on the foreign front, a woman, 30 others, including children, injured in the southern region of Ukraine following massive Russian attack on Ukraine, even as Kiev strikes back. Those are top stories this evening. This bulletin streams live all across the world on Facebook and X at GHOne TV. Let's get started this evening. As a driver, Eric Afu has been remanded by the Circuit Court in Accra for allegedly stealing a Toyota Hilux pickup vehicle belonging to the Ghana Police Service. The vehicle, with registration number WR1805Z, is valued at 300,000 cedis. The plea of the accused was not taken because he informed the court that his lawyer would be available on the next adjourned date. The court, presided over by Her Honor, Mrs. Basilia Ejay Teria, has adjourned the case to September 4. Chief Inspector Abel stated that on August 19, 2025, the complainant parked his official police vehicle in front of his residence at Ashalebutre and retired to bed. He said that on August 20 at about 7 a.m., the complainant discovered that the vehicle had been moved to an unknown destination and lodged an initial complaint of stealing at Lakeside Estates Police Station. The prosecution said that at about 3 p.m. on August 20, 2025, the police patrol team arrested the first accused person and brought him to the auto theft unit. The team, he said, had intercepted the service vehicle, which was being driven by the accused person, and found a police driving logbook and the complainant's hospital ID card. Of the accused revealed a bunch of Toyota ignition keys. Initially, the accused claimed that he was sent by a friend who owned the vehicle, but he later admitted to stealing the vehicle with Aqua, who is on the run. The case is still under investigation. In other news, for 25 years, Florence Abubila endured excruciating hip pain because she could not afford the nearly 80,000 cedis that was needed for surgery. Today, that long struggle has ended thanks to the generosity of a benefactor who made her operation possible. Here's reports by Peter Kwao Adato and Simon Atule.
What began as a birthday celebration turned into a lifeline for hundreds of the less privileged, bringing hope and healing to communities long burdened by health challenges. The Chief Executive Officer of Azimbe Groups of Companies and Hospitals, Emmanuel Azimbe Abugri, marked his birthday by funding free surgeries and medical care for over 500 residents across the Binduri, Zebila, and Bolgatanga districts.
People who are less privileged are benefiting. We want to appeal to other facilities to also emulate the same, to support our people who could not afford, so that we'll be able to render this kind of services to our good people.
Among the beneficiaries is Florence Abugbila, who has endured excruciating hip pain for 25 years because she could not afford the nearly 80,000 cedis needed for surgery. She described the intervention as a miracle.
And I'm praying God for him, that God should give him long life. And the kind of the good work he's doing, he should continue doing it. Because if not because of him, I will be with the pain until I die.
The outreach provided a wide range of specialized surgeries, from hip replacements, hernia and cesarean sections, to cataract operations and orthopedic procedures. Beneficiaries also received free medical consultations, screenings, medication, and counseling.
This exercise is supposed to entice the people of Accra to seek proper health care, and then to know that we stand with them, proper health care, and we stand with them, to also educate them on the proper ways to take care of themselves.
For Malik Ayamba, years of battling a hip condition finally came to an end in relief. The humanitarian gesture, praised by health officials and community leaders alike, transformed Abugri's birthday into a day of healing and renewed hope for many.
You're watching News Tonight here on GHOne TV. The Acting Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Honorable Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boa, has written to the Office of the Attorney General for the formal and immediate revocation of legislative instrument, that's LI 2462, and its amended version, LI 2501. This decisive legislative action is a cornerstone of government's enhanced strategy to combat the menace of illegal mining, popularly referred to as galamsey, which has caused severe environmental degradation across the country. In a statement issued by the Director of Communications for the Lands Ministry, Ama Mausi Mawinyo Fia, the minister assured the public that revoking the LI will not create a regulatory vacuum. The statement expressed confidence that the Environmental Protection Agency's existing framework will provide robust provisions to govern all mining activities and ensure strict compliance with environmental standards. The Attorney General has indicated it's no objection to the request, paving the way for the revocation to proceed. Now, this critical step is intended to unify and strengthen the regulatory framework, creating a cohesive front for all stakeholders in the national fight against illegal mining. This move is designed to end the severe environmental devastation that has polluted Ghana's water bodies and degraded its forest reserves. It directly complements on-the-ground efforts such as the Responsible Cooperative Mining and Skills Development Program and the operational coordination of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat. This holistic strategy, according to the ministry, is central to the government's unwavering commitments to restoring the nation's ecosystems to make our waters blue and forests green once more. The phone lines, we've been joined by Daryl Bosu. He's the Deputy National Coordinator of Arocha, Ghana. We're engaging him off the back of this current development. Daryl, good evening to you and thank you for joining us here on News Tonight. Now, we do know that your organization, as well as some other civil society groups, have, for a number of years, about 3 years, ensured and mounted some heavy advocacy against the promulgation of this LI, that's LI 2462. It allows for mining in forest reserves. What's your initial reaction of this latest development by the government for its repeal?
Good evening to you as well. And I must say that, yes, we take this as very welcome news. And I must say we are very excited that the government is finally seeing that there's opportunity for us to really promote and sustain forest conservation as well as environmental sustainability by really getting rid of some unfavorable laws like the LI 2462 and its amendment 2501. So it's really good news back here, and we are really looking forward to the whole process concluding favorably. I mean, we know we've been here before where the previous administration, they talk about revoking LI 2462, and like you rightly said, this LI was passed in 2022, and since then it's become a lever that the government has used to provide more opportunity for opening up almost all our forest reserves for mining. And so to get another opportunity to go back to the table and say, look, we are revoking it, it's certainly good news, and we are really looking forward to when this process concludes for this LI and its amendment to be revoked.
Right, Darrell. So you say that you have received this news positively. However, would you say that this is enough, or do you think that we do need some more stringent legal backing to actually ensure that the impact is felt?
I think you're very right, because the thing is that, you see, it is good to have laws, but if you have the laws and you also don't have the commitment to really ensure that these laws are respected and not flouted, then you are really having a problem. And I must say that even when it comes to mining in forest reserves, Act 703 already is very clear about excluding forest reserves from mining in all its entirety. So it is really shocking that over the years it become a common practice for the Minerals Commission to be issuing licenses in certain forest reserves and all of that, and to follow up with an LI which was actually confirming government's posture that they are in full support of allowing mining in forest reserves, and that was the reason why they came out with some guidelines. So I agree, the law is important, getting rid of the law is important, but if we don't ensure strict enforcement and compliance with the processes, with the existing legal framework in the country, we will be wasting our time. So it is not enough to just repeal. We must also take steps to ensure that even for mining companies who issue licenses in some of these reserves, we take the necessary steps to also revoke those licenses and then take steps to restore our forest. Because at the end of the day, it is the mischief of allowing mining in forest reserves that we want to cure, so we can really ensure that all our forest reserves are restored and they really sustain their ecological integrity over the years. Other than that, it's just going to be a waste of time, as we did with the amendment process that was commenced somewhere in the year. It got amended. Now we say, okay, let's repeal.
Right. Darrell Bosu, thank you so much for your time this evening. Deputy National Coordinator with Arocha Ghana, joining us on that issue. Let's turn to some other top stories this evening, as over 10,000 people displaced by renewed clashes between the Gonja and Brifo communities in the Sola and Bole districts of the Savannah region have sought refuge in neighboring Côte d'Ivoire. The government's delegation, led by Savannah Regional Minister Salisu B. Awubi, has visited the victims in Vonkoro to assure them of the government's support and commitment to restoring peace.
The protracted Gonja-Brefop conflict in the Sola, Tuna, Kauba and Bole districts have left behind a trail of destruction, lives lost, homes burnt, and thousands displaced. Schools have been shut down, health services disrupted, and farming activities halted, deepening the hardship of affected communities. In the latest flare-up, over 10,000 people, men, women, and children, have fled across the border into neighboring Côte d'Ivoire, where they are currently seeking refuge. On the second day of his tour, the Savannah Regional Minister, Salisu Bia, will be joined by the MCA for Damango and the DCE for Bole, visited the displaced in Vonkoro.
I'm happy that the Brifo youth have even met the Borawara and have actually indicated that indeed he is their landlord. They don't owe any parcel of land apart from what is given to them. And that is the beginning of healing any mutual suspicion which exists. And I'm actually very much assured that within a shorter time, we'll be able to overcome this and they will properly be integrated back at home.
He presented relief items including bags of rice and cooking oil and assured the victims of the government's resolve to secure a lasting peace in Gunjaland.
Land management is the area that I started as a profession before becoming a lawyer. So we will put all our skills and experiences to bear and see what best we can do so that indeed our people will come back, be on their farms, farm freely, rear their cattle, and all of us will once again integrate as usual.
However, some of the displaced victims called for calm and immediate resolution of the conflict. The Ivorian delegation on their part expressed appreciation to the Ghanaian government and pledged to keep the victims safe until peace and reconciliation are achieved back home.
Let's stay on this issue a while longer. Salifu Adams, a local reporter in the Savannah region, joins us now with more. Salifu, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Now, we do understand that these 10,000 residents have fled and to Côte d'Ivoire. What more can you share with regards to this figure and where it currently stands? And what more information have you gathered so far?
Thank you very much for your listeners, Cheers. It's actually true that victims who have moved from Culinary, and some other, about 30 communities from Savannah region, all districts have flee into this community, have no even rooms to sleep for almost 3 days, and later by find themselves to cross over to La Côte d'Ivoire, and Savannah regional minister led by some security personnel and the DT for Solar Tuna Kalba and Boli district and Damangu municipal to come and actually pay a visit to these people who are flee to La Côte d'Ivoire. And actually, when he got there, he actually assured La Côte d'Ivoire officials and the securities over there that the people who have fled there is a result of conflict. And it's assuring them that they are making all this they are going to do in collaboration with the chiefs of Savannah region and the king of the England, Yebunra, little Jerusalem, to make sure that these people have come back to Savannah region to come and start with their farming activity. Because if you look at Olatuna Kalba district, these are people who farm and feed the district. So if this incident has happened, they have then let all their farms, most of them, in this movement that they have made within this conflict, because before they realize these are communities that the security personnel cannot get in touch with all the communities, because some of them, the roads are not movable. There are some other places that the security also find challenges to get to this community. So it's actually and the people are actually worried in this situation.
Salifu Adams, thank you for the update there, joining us from the Savannah region. Certainly more on that development in subsequent bulletins here on GHOne TV. In other top stories, chaos ensued between supporters of the NDC and the MPP at the 40-day observation of the late Akwatia MP, Ernest Yao Kumi, after supporters of the MPP allegedly attacked the entourage of NDC National Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia. The chaos, which lasted about 15 minutes, was in the presence of former President Akufo-Addo, former Vice President Dr. Bawumia, national executives of the MPP, and minority leadership. It took the intervention of police reinforcements to restore calm. New Joabing South MP Michael Otre Befi was spotted separating the angry youth to de-escalate the tension. Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress has made an official complaint to the Ghana Police Service to cause the arrest of some 20 persons captured on videos making rounds on social media before Monday, September 1, 2025. They warn of taking matters into their own hands should the police fail to arrest them. This follows an attack on an NDC delegation led by Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the party's national chairman, by a mob. Still on this, the Ghana Journalists Association has stressed the need for police to maintain law and order during the Akwatia by-election. At a press conference, GJA President Albert Kwabena Jomfo underscored the critical role of journalists in safeguarding a free and fair electoral process. He further urged practitioners to uphold the highest standards of professionalism and ethics by ensuring accuracy, fairness and balance in their reportage.
Avoid the use of military to intimidate the electorate. We encourage the police to ensure that no hooligans and thugs are allowed to foment trouble in the constituency. Journalists are not combatant in the political contest. They are professionals carrying out a democratic duty to inform the public. We entreat all political actors to respect the work of journalists, avoid confrontations, and refrain from acts that could compromise their safety. The GJA reaffirms its unwavering commitment to defend the rights, safety, and dignity of journalists, and calls on all stakeholders, media houses, security agencies, political parties, and civil society to work together to ensure peaceful, safe, and professional coverage of the Akwatia by.
Now, former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Dufo has asked voters in Akwatia to vote for the candidate of the governing NDC, Bernard Bediako Baidu, to facilitate development in the constituency. Voters in Akwatia will on Tuesday vote to elect a replacement for the late Ernest Yao Kumi, who passed on months ago. The race is a straight fight between the NDC's Bernard Bediako Baidu and the MPP's Solomon Asumadu. Engaging residents during a house-to-house campaign, Dr. Dufo expressed dismay at the lack of development in Akwatia despite the popularity of the constituency. He charged the voters to vote for the NDC candidate to enable him work closely with President Mahama in securing progress for the area.
Akwatia, we didn't song. A diamond what city they were. If you buy your Henry, a prophet diamond, that is so. The bunch of beer, my program, the war. A bubble, a pioneer, a war. For Fra, I pay to my Libya. Because I be. Beshawo, sa brother, Otuma, lawyer. They never were the Akwatia Yura, the money the Mahama president. Now, Paka said, any Tia MP. So, President Pachop, Bami Mapa in ye. One may be crowning yet to my way. Abu said, Akwatia Benya and Tuma Petra. I'm a put to Abaha. a brother who got to my lawyer. We are my friend. We have a particular say, Sikababa, a Petia de Papia.
Now let's stay in Akwatia as our parliamentary correspondent Ibrahim Al-Hassan joins us now live from Akwatia. Ibrahim, good evening to you. Now you have been there and are going to be there up until Tuesday's by-election. What more can you share? Paint a picture of what the mood is currently there. And we do know that there was this chaos between supporters of the MPP and NDC. Run us through the security detail as well.
Well, so Natalie, as you can see behind me, if boot for boot was a person and needs a definition, that's exactly what you'll be seeing behind me. Of course, now blocked by this truck that is passing, but we have images of the two leading contenders face to face and side by side here. And that's the same thing that's happening. In fact, moments ago, we saw a number of trucks, a number of vehicles leave the hinterlands and then pass behind us, belonging to the MPP. And that's because today the MPP decided to focus on the hinterlands. So they went to the rural areas in this constituency, and that was where the NPP took its campaign. Of course, the NDC had divided itself into many groups. As you rightly pointed out to viewers, the group that canvassed for vote within the Akwatia proper, the center of Akwatia, was led by the former finance minister, Dr. Kwabena, who embarked on a house-to-house campaign, engaging the constituents and telling them that making his way into the constituency, he was shocked at the lack of progress, lack of development, and the deprivation that he witnessed. If you compare that to how popular the community is, it doesn't match. There is only one solution to that problem that he had discovered, and that solution will be that the NDC has a president. The NDC equally has an MCE in this particular district, and so therefore what the party needs will be an MP who can, through these two individuals that have been mentioned, draw the attention to the lack of development in Akwatia, and when he does so, obviously attention will be brought to bear on this particular constituency. Consequently, he asked them to vote for the NDC's candidate. When you move to the other side, as I mentioned, the NPP, a number of them have been here as well, the party leadership, party campaigns. I've seen members of parliament who do not even hail from this region, I'm talking about Eastern region, equally here canvassing for votes, just so this seat doesn't leave the hold of the NPP. Interestingly, Natalie, you talked about security. In fact, I can tell you that as I've stood here, every 2 minutes, and in fact, give the dog a bad name and hang it. That's exactly what you're looking at. Every 2 minutes, there is a police-branded vehicle moving and passing behind me. And I mentioned 2 minutes, scrap that, every 1 minute. That's another one, right? And I can tell you that if anybody tells you the entire police service is here in Akwatia, that will not be an exaggeration, because the numbers have been huge. I've visited the operation center of the police, and I can tell you that I could count no less than 50 police vehicles here. I could count GP2, GP3, GP4. And what do I mean by that? It talks about the command. So GP1 is a vehicle belonging to the IGP, 2, the second in command, 3, the third in command in order. I've seen many of such registered vehicles here. That's to tell you the level of seriousness that the Ghana Police Service has attached to Tuesday's exercise, way ahead of time. Well, let's engage some of the people who have gathered here. Of course, in no time, we will equally go and engage the drivers who have been behind us. But let's engage some of them who have been here. And I'm talking about the constituents of Akwatia. Hello, let's engage this gentleman here. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, live on GHOne TV. Ufri Akwatia.
Patran.
Na abano betu bi there.
Mato.
Okay, no, he me camera ni mama. Edi ntina betu abano.
Oh, say pempuntu nti say to abano.
Okay, so ka mpuntu a na chese so far na watu abano unye hu mpuntu ha. Is that the case?
Sa pepe.
Edi ni mpuntu a muhia wa ha eni nti ama ahye unkran say ebenada kokoto aba.
Oh, say hu say yema no say ekọ nanim. Ekọ nanim a hu say mpuntu ba na you fun so anyadwuma ye.
Enti na say o ka say mpuntu a eno no ba kire bebi a obeto aba na ko.
Patran.
Enti o sisem wa na auto aso.
Oh. Edu ha
na abeto.
Patran.
Enti say oni mpenifo kasa eden na abeka kire omo before Tuesday because man was supposed to for ha pa.
Ti say meka ti say
no eden say o adesrede be na adebetu mpenifo ni.
Oh, say anu an say mpuntu no. Anu an ehwehwe. Nti no anu an say bebi a hu say otu aba ne kwa mpuntu no be ba no na wato.
O kan say mbonu a ho ha ni adwuma ye. Ba wo ye adwuma.
Okay, me adwuma ye but me ni obuafo.
Edi adwuma na ye.
Oh, okay, me pots.
Where then?
Pot.
Pot. Or cooking pot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now business the same.
Oh, it's all right. Akra.
Thank you very much. And my Miss Brown also won't change. Oh, live on GHOne TV. Oti asma me bisa no. Also abatu ayebetui. Edi ntina ehu hia wo say we den. Otu.
We hear me state ameto say ye pasumdio Akwatia. Se enyo bi ye pasumdio Akwatia ntina meto aban.
O kan say o pasumdio a chirechire mu wote he what
ye pasumdio ni say ye panipo betima Akwatia ni bodie yi. Ye mantemu obeye mputu adwuma ni ye man. Tira meto aban.
And this for a campaign omo ye ne say omo na waban mu. Omo mampani no efiri omo nchen. Enti say omo to aba mo a omo na benya mpuntu odi amamo. Sase me uso me say.
All right, so meba.
Na is the one out to aba na ko.
Endis.
Okay, now we adwuma. We dey adwuma.
Ye wash me dey adwuma.
Okay, na ko say.
Ekoye pa.
All right. And so these gentlemen have engaged, have told me about the challenges of the constituency, Natalie. Not just the challenges of the constituency. They've equally indicated that they are voting because they want development. I have a driver who is just about entering his car. Let me just engage him briefly. We are live on GHOne TV. About where about to Benadano, editing a Huhiampa.
Oh, the Huhiam is a Mipempuntu Juma. Oh, me man, enemy crew. Send a bay crew bed, a bit too pong. Send a bear, Ubi, fat, at the end, Basabiamba, a crew. Now, Omun ye crew in any day. Then to Poma and the internet crew. Then back with Yadin. Yes.
Necessarily, may I all can say, pay. Ebini has to see I'm an okay.
To see the crew, madam, put to you may be anyhow. A Juma, a galamsey, a Juma. And no more. But you may be a title be any here, and a hospital. I found some baby DVL am I. Okay, and the DVL will be a many ajepa. I don't know about more to Abaco Hanasaha. Baby, I SM took Obia, SM took. Now, what can DVL lady? And I said, the overall DVL and Atuaman. Aye, no, not put to you my about mining. Mate. And so, yes, Natalie, the messages have not been that different. And that's a taxi driver I just engaged who talks about the fact that he is a taxi driver. There is an advertisement. I'm sure many people have seen a flyer that goes around that DVLA office will be opened in this particular area come Monday. To him, that's the reason why he's going to vote the way he's going to vote. Let's still be engaging some of the individuals here who are live on GHOne TV.
Yeah.
And about Ebertui. Obertui there.
I will vote based on development.
Okay.
And then professionalism.
Okay.
Akwatia, we need development.
Okay.
Since Baba Jama time, he brought this filling station and he constructed this lorry station. He brought the diesel assembly. He brought water for us. And he also built the market over there. Since then, we haven't seen any development. Apart from Amase came to and did this asphalt for us. I think that is all about developing Akwatia. So
yes.
development.
But of course, the MPP's campaign is also that when Akufo-Addo was the president, at least you saw some improvement here as well. The argument could be that your late MP had just won, even though the MPP lost. So if that's the case, why not vote for another MP?
Okay, we need. He just came. Unfortunately, he passed on. We don't know what he was trying to do for us, or we don't know what he will be able to do for us. But since he's passed on, it looked like what he wanted to do, he was not able to do it before God called him. So we will see, based on what we have already received, we have already heard from the period government. Based on that, we can vote for the MP that.
Now, the constituency voted for an MP. Unfortunately, he lost his life. How about you consider the party and say, because they have lost one of their own, you are giving the seat to them again? Is that not a consideration?
Okay, at times it's a consideration, but looking at the government in power and so on, if we weigh it, when Mr. Okoyo came, when he came, his government was not in power. He did nothing to us. We didn't get anything. But we are afraid that if you vote for him, and the NDD also is in power, we are afraid that he too will not get anything for us. So we are considering that we love the one who passed on, we love the MPP, but we are considering how to get our development. I was said that we also get from the 4 years that given to the NDC government. I'm sure if the MPP comes, I don't think they will give him the upper hand for him to develop Akwatia for us.
So to you, it's all about development.
It's all about development.
The party in power, if it secures the MP here, that will facilitate development.
Even when Asidu Nkete came, Mr. Asidu, Honorable Asidu Nkete came to Sendon Hospital, I was there. The way he was saying, talking about development, I don't think if the MP comes, I don't think he will extend his help to him to develop Akwatia.
All right.
That's what I was saying.
Thank you for your name.
My name is Francis Senso.
Okay, thank you, Franklin. Let's still be engaging people. Yeah. Oh, you are too young to vote, right? Yes. But so, do you know there will be an election in this constituency? Do you? You don't know there will be an election in this constituency? Yes. But haven't you noticed that something has changed about Akwatia? There are many people here. There are police vehicles. Yes, why do you think that's the case? You don't know. All right, so let's move ahead and engage. Hello, who are live on GHOne TV? But you see about Tuesday. To be there.
Because of developments. Because Ghana Hana won. In Pada Dayache. In Yanni Pabia, and over to me. I made developments. Yes, so man, Yatimaya, Humbadria, and I say Yasumba Dria. I been here Jumaya in Mabuno. Anything about to about.
What the MB before car, NSU or now or Mokano, almost development, and found say NDs in our Bamu, Motoma MPP candidate now, still in Puntujuman Ubanyabi. When you money,
another Omaka, a woman say, be a NDs Abana at Sumomode. Yamakasami MPP, NDs Abana at Sumomode. But any panel could do honum, Nasa, your man discuss on family development, and that's why my Albana day. Unto me, by Nipana, Kwame Sumadu, Yajanidi. Yawa trust so with Mupa.
Oh, to Ababa, Kwama Sumadu, and I say,
I'm the Sumadu, and I'm a Tumaba, and
Obenyam Pujuman, until Mokan, Ujidi, Pujuman.
Maybe I'm one more Bamanasi. Because what about our same war? You pay KVIP Horn into a mere quarter by Bukram Wade. I beg you, Horn, Madame, you have been Baba started.
All right. Thank you very much. And so, yes, he talks about the fact that he wants development, but that doesn't mean that he's voting for the government candidate. I'm talking about the candidate of the NDC. He's still voting for the candidate of the MPP, and he's rest assured that he will get his development. Back to you in the studio, Natalie.
Thank you, Ibrahim Al-Hassan there, bringing all the action from Akwatia in the eastern region, clearly serving us with a very clear picture of developments there ahead of Tuesday's by-election that is between the NDC's Bernard Baidu and the MPP's Solomon Asu Madu. And we'll certainly bring you the latest of that on Tuesday right here on GHOne TV, your election hub. You're watching News Tonight. Do stay with us. We return shortly. Welcome back. Next, we bring you business news.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has expressed that Ghana is, in the interim, open to importing rice from Pakistan to fill the existing consumption gaps as the country works assiduously towards increasing local production. He explained that beyond importing, Ghana will leverage Pakistan's technical expertise for the benefit of Ghanaian farmers and businesses. The minister made these comments during the Pakistan Rice Roadshow in Accra.
According to the Rice Exporters Association of Pakistan, Pakistan is the rice exporting country globally in terms of quality and value. In the 2020 worldwide. Despite efforts underway to boost local production and bridge the consumption gaps through national strategies and policy initiatives, Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, in an interview with GHOne Business at the sidelines of the Pakistan Rice Roadshow in Accra, explained that the government is open to import rice from Pakistan as an interim measure.
To ensure that we build the capacity of local producers, we expand production to be able to meet the demands and aspirations of our people when it comes to rice production. But while implementing these policies, we have a gap, and that gap must be filled. How do we fill the gap? We can only fill the gap if we import from other countries to supplement what is locally produced. And we are fortunate to have our brothers from Pakistan indicating to us that they have a special variety.
The Director General of the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, Attar Hussain, highlighted that this move will bolster trade relations between the two countries through targeted investments.
Pakistan has 24 rice varieties. And there is a lot of research in Pakistan's rice varieties. And that's why per acre yield in Pakistan has increased a lot. That's why Pakistan is also the top most producer of the rice. Therefore, based on Pakistan experience, we can share this with our Ghanaian companies, and there can be a joint venture on this.
Meanwhile, the treasurer of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Michael Caesar, suggests that the trade disparities between the two countries should be properly balanced for a win-win affair.
What are we giving out? What are we topping up to ensure that we safeguard employment, we safeguard food security, whilst we also share with the outside world what they have to help us to grow. Technology in this area is key for us, and I believe that the agri-tech sector that Pakistan has and the skill sets are something we look forward to that will be transferred as well.
The Pakistan Rice Roadshow featured business-to-business discussions, trade facilitation, and coaching on trade compliance, among other activities.
In other business news, the Youth Employment Agency is encouraging young people to take digital training seriously as a pathway to future jobs. Acting Director of Technical Services at the agency, Dr. Suleiman Abdul Salam, says digital apprenticeship is the key to bridging Ghana's growing digital divide. He made the call at the launch of a digital apprenticeship training program by NASCO Feeding Minds in partnership with the Mandela Washington Fellows Association, Ghana.
According to 2024 figures from the Ghana Statistical Service, less than 40% of Ghanaians have basic digital literacy, whilst only 15% are skilled in more advanced digital tools. Stakeholders believe that investing in digital education is crucial if Ghana is to close the skills gap and unlock new avenues for youth employment. It is against this backdrop that the Youth Employment Authority is urging the youth to embrace digital training programs. at the launch of the Digital Apprenticeship Training Program by NASCO Feeding Minds in partnership with the Mandela Washington Fellows Association Ghana and the Lacacia Foundation. Acting Director of Technical Service of the Youth Employment Authority, Dr. Suleiman Abdul Salam, disclosed that digital apprenticeship provides opportunities and creates meaningful employment avenues.
The digital economy is booming at an unprecedented speed and has become the key driving force for global economic development. Digital technology as the core pillar of the digital economy covers cutting-edge fields such as big data, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, the Internet of Things, and the blockchain. It is for us, a challenge for us, the youth, to take advantage of this opportunity and build strong digital literacy skills.
Executive Director of NASCO Feeding Minds, Banasco Said Nuhu, also highlighted the importance of digital education, urging government to adopt a more targeted approach in promoting digital literacy and challenge trainees to make productive use of the knowledge gained.
Our solution is to address two of the most challenging issues of our time. One, youth unemployment and irregular migration. You agree with me that a lot of our young people who traverse the Sahara and cross the Mediterranean to arrive in Europe are mainly economic push factors. So our solution is to offer our young people skills and opportunity. And once they acquire these skills, we get them to work for foreign companies, thereby staying at home whilst earning a foreign income, which they would want to traverse this journey to arrive and at work.
The training program forms part of ongoing efforts to equip the next generation with the tools needed to thrive in a fast-evolving digital economy.
That is all the business news for tonight. We bring you sports news shortly.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Ghana Premier League champions and 2025 Galka Top 4 winners Bibiani Gold Stars are set to face MTN FA Cup champions Asante Kotoko in the 2025 Champion of Champions game that will open the new and anticipated 2025-2026 Premier League season. The Miners beat Kotoko 2-1 in the Galka Top 4 tournament, while the Porcupine Warriors beat Gold Stars 2-0 in the league last season. Tomorrow's game will be at the Dunes Park in Bibiani at 3 p.m. and will serve as another preparatory match for the two teams who will represent Ghana in the 2026 CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup.
So Henry Antu over the free kick duties for Kotoko in his own half. He rolls one down to...
Meanwhile, coach of Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito, who has led his team to win the FA Cup, President's Cup and Toyota Cup, admits that the game against Bibiani Gold Stars will be a tough one, but has assured fans that the team will revenge their 2-1 defeats to the Miners in the Galka Top 4.
It will be a very difficult match. And as you know, they also beat us during the top 4. So it will be a revenge not on physical issue, revenge on the field that we also like to do what? To also beat them to make it equal. And I'm very, very happy with this game because it will be in preparation for the Confederation Cups, and they also, their Champions League they are going to play. So it will be a nice game.
That's it for sports tonight. We bring you entertainment news next. On his own tonight, President of the Musicians Union of Ghana, Musica, Bessa Simons, has urged female musicians from across the country and beyond to take advantage of the union's upcoming all-women music festival, She Rhythms, scheduled for December 4 to 6. Speaking to GHOne TV at the launch of the event, Bessa Simons highlighted the festival is designed to celebrate and amplify the creativity and talent of women in Ghana's music industry, while also giving them a platform to market their craft to the global audience.
Rhythms is all-female music festival initiated by Musica. This idea came when Musica initiated a desk for gender balance and empowering women in the creative arts. And so we realized that there are so many fields that we don't have women covering. You know, most women are only just singing, but we want women to be in the other sections like studio management, studio engineer, you know, all those kinds, lighting, you know, stage direction, and all this for women. I encourage every musician, if you're a female, apply and be on this festival, because you are going to meet a lot of women, you know, who are also musicians from different countries. This is open to the whole world. Already we have some people showing interest from South Africa, Rwanda, United States, and if tonight what we are showing here is a glimpse of what will happen on the day.
Interesting initiative there. Now, if you've ever queued in the morning or even late at night for a taste of rice and stew that lingers in your memory, you've likely stumbled upon the magic of Zongo rice and stew. This beloved dish draws people across town, diverting their diet plans and inspiring pleas for seconds. This report by GHOne News' Zuleiha Nuhu. In this, she visits Nima to uncover the secrets of Zongo stew.
Zongo stew, a culinary treasure in Ghana, stands out in its rich, spicy flavor, unlike any restaurant offering. The secret, as revealed by Haja Ngoya, a food vendor in Nima, lies in a meticulous craft beyond mere cooking. Under this makeshift kitchen is where all the natural spices are mixed in this old pot of oil. Stirring of the stew or mixes, Haja's expertise transforms simple ingredients into an irresistible dish. She shared the skill and artistry of cooking Zongo stew with the news team.
Spices in here, maniga, pepri, I shake it way busy. So I was a minimum in a and a spices in there, different. So endorse ebia kakra. I the control say I light a bit chinsa am a tea. If say the namu so ye chin namu ya chicken any nantri namu need in so no agum.
Adding depth, spice vendor Hajia Asia emphasizes the unique blend of natural spices, dried onions, cloves and bay leaves, which work in harmony like a well-coached football team to earn a stew its Zongo title.
Nyama stew yet the pie in kitty any rosemary. So you soon get crana. Now you soon kitty crana. Eh, okay. And I must still near there. You may see rosemary getting kitty, any star, any coriander seed, and a fina seed, any paprika crabby, a crabby, any bay leaf.
For enthusiasts, it's more than food. It is joy in every bite. They describe Zongo rice and stew as the reason diet plans fail, owing to its unforgettable taste.
It is very nice as compared to others, and it is even difficult for me to stay on diet.
Very demure.
Zuleha Nuhu's reports there. She clearly enjoyed this report, and we promise to whet your appetite for dinner here on News Tonight. Next, we bring you international news. On the international front this evening, Russia has carried out a massive overnight attack on 14 regions of Ukraine, authorities have said, as Kiev struck Russian oil refineries. A woman was killed in the southern region of Ukraine, with 30 people injured, including children, according to local officials. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky launched nearly 540 drones and 45 missiles, urging tough new sanctions on Moscow. The latest barrage comes amid ongoing international efforts to secure a peace deal between the two warring nations, and days after the Ukrainian capital Kiev faced the second largest aerial attack of the war so far, with at least 25 killed. There's lots more international and local stories available on our website, starfm.com.gh. The bulletin was produced by Abdul Hanan Adam. I am Natalie Fort. Thank you for watching. Have a restful evening.